Greetings everybody, show on here. Let's get this started. Now, it is hot. I'm sitting in my car doing this video for some reason, but this video is a response to Candace Owens' comments regarding Rayshard Brooks and his killing by police officers. Now, there are some things that Candace Owens says that I agree with, and there are some things that I disagree with. And it is very possible to, in regards to the same subject, agree and disagree with certain points. Now, whenever Candace Owens talks about the black community needing to do better as far as dealing with certain situations, holding themselves and each other accountable, and not catering to the lowest common denominator, or not making excuses or justifying or dismissing the behavior of certain individuals, I agree with that. When she says that not all black people loot, riot, and disrespect law enforcement, I agree with that. What I disagree with was her saying that the killing of Rayshard Brooks was justified under the circumstances in which the killing took place. And there are a lot of people who do say that it was justified, and there are a lot of people who say it was unjustified. And some of the people who say it was unjustified completely dismiss the actions of and behaviors of Rayshard Brooks that led up to his death. The fact of the matter is, had Rayshard Brooks complied with the officers, not resisted, not struggled with them, not grabbed the taser, not ran away, most likely he would still be alive. Now, as far as the officers go, the killing was completely unjustified. And I'm going to explain to you why. Yes, Rayshard Brooks resisted arrest. Yes, he grabbed the taser. Yes, it appears that he tried to use the taser on the officer. But here's the thing. Rayshard Brooks was running away. He had a taser, but a taser is a weapon with a limited range, and it is a non-lethal weapon at that. Yes, people can die as a result to being tased, but it is designed as a non-lethal weapon. So here you have a man who has in his possession a non-lethal weapon, and he is running away from the police. Now, those who will sit there and say that, well, what if he used a taser and incapacitated an officer and then grabbed his gun? Yeah, what if? But then again, what if he would have complied with the officers to begin with? The fact of the matter is, he had a non-lethal weapon with a limited range. He was running away from the officer, therefore he was running away from the officer's gun. Due to that scenario, it was completely unjustified for them to shoot him in the back. Now, when I was watching the footage of this, there's different vantage points of the footage. I saw the security footage from the security camera that has no sound. And when I was watching that footage, I couldn't tell if the officer fired his gun as a result of being hit by the taser that Rayshard Brooks had, because Rayshard Brooks had a taser. It appears that he fired the taser at the officer. You see the officer stumble and bump into a car, and then, we see Rayshard fall down and the officer had his gun drawn. Now, I was looking at the footage, and again, I couldn't tell because I saw the officer draw the gun, but I couldn't tell if the firing of the gun was a result of him being hit by the taser, being shocked, and having an involuntary muscle spasm, which caused him to pull the trigger. Upon watching the body cam footage that has sound on it, you can hear 3 gunshots go off. You can't see because the angle of the camera, but you hear 3 gunshots go off, which leads me to believe that it was not an involuntary action to shoot Rayshard Brooks, but a voluntary one. So, when you put everything together, when you have him, yes, having a taser, which is a non-lethal weapon with limited range, running away from the police officer, running away from the police officer's gun, and then there being 3 gunshots fired from what I could hear, the killing was completely unjustified. There's no, and when you look at that scenario, we could play what ifs all day long. We could sit there and say, well, what if he was charging the officer? We could sit there and say that, well, what if the officer would have shot him while he was struggling with the 2 officers to get the taser? We could play this what if game all day long. What if Rayshard Brooks had complied with the police officers? What if he wasn't asleep in that Wendy's parking lot? What if? but we're not dealing with what ifs. We're dealing with facts, and the facts are what's presented before us in the video. And the facts do not support the justification of this man's killing. Anyway, those are my thoughts on that. Candace Owens is wrong in that regard. Anybody who agrees with Candace Owens is wrong in that regard. But again, those are my thoughts. Thank you for watching. Catch you on the flip side.